Hey friends, I want to take a second and talk about money. Yeah, it's a big thing. Um, as many of you know, I am a VIPKid teacher and I help coach people to become VIPKid teachers. Um, and one of the things that we talk about, all of us coaches, is the money that we make because that's a real draw to the company. I feel very fairly compensated. I've said this before, but I want to just take a moment and just be really raw here and be really real with you guys because sometimes we hear all these people saying these things and it sounds so great, and it is, but there's always a backstory. So I want to tell you a little bit about my own backstory, kind of what the money has meant to me, and what it can mean to you as well, and just like a mindset to go into if you're thinking about joining VIPKid or any any other kind of job at all. This is not just for VIPKid. That happens to be my own story, my experience, so that is what I'll be using. But you could substitute VIPKid for anything, honestly. Um, yeah, so my story is I I have debt. I know about the hardships that go into not having a lot of money. I've worked up to 4 jobs at one point in my life, and I understand that there's a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice to just making ends meet sometimes and providing for our families, and we will take the things that come our way and we will seek things that make us happy, but in the end we all know that there needs to be that paycheck. We have to make something. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working towards a paycheck, but hopefully you can find something that is more than just a paycheck to you. And that's what VIPKid was for me. I am familiar with working lots of jobs. I've tried a number of different things. If you want to hear about all the things I've accomplished and failed, I can send you my resume. It's a lot. It's long. So I'm very familiar. I've done jobs from washing dishes to managing managers. Um, I worked my way up, and I understand the difficulties that go into just the workplace in general, and then finding yourself in a new situation where maybe the workplace wasn't working for you. For me, it was because I became a mother and a wife really right around the same time, and just my family. It was very it was just a time that I was meant to give, and I felt like my corporate job was taking too much of that time, and it wasn't making me very happy. Not the job made me happy, but the time didn't, and so I had to find another way to supplement the pay and not the time. That can be especially challenging. It's like everyone's dream, right? I want to make this much money and this work this much to get that much. That's just not the way that things work. You know that, I know that. But one of the things that my family and I did is we knew for us to really see that change and pour back into our family was we needed to move. Like for us, it was just like pack the bags, we're getting out of here. We didn't even really save any money. Like we just had to get out. Not that it was a bad situation, it just wasn't a healthy one. And we both, my husband and I, had dreams of living somewhere else. We grew up in Michigan. Nothing's wrong with Michigan. It's a great place, but it wasn't our place. So we moved here to Tennessee, and we have been absolutely loving it. And that said, when we moved, it was a big challenge because I had worked my way up into this good job, and he had a good supplementary income on the side. So we were doing well. We lived very comfortable lives, and we were aware of that. And of course, there's this small delusion when you move that it'll be so easy to find a job. We'll just pick up where we left off. I'll find something doing the same thing. He'll find something doing the same thing. And that was not our story. We really struggled for a long time financially. And that it did affect us emotionally as well and spiritually. But I think actually in the end, we ended up coming out stronger for that. But we had our struggles. It was not just, oh, I'll work with VIPKid, it'll be great. You'll find a job, it'll be great. There were up and downs. We found ourselves just really struggling to meet just some basic needs. And a lot of that came with when I became pregnant. It was a very joyous moment. Then we found out that it was a complicated pregnancy, and with some complications come lots of bills. You know what I'm talking about. And we just trusted. There's a lot of trust, and we found that there's a lot of support as well from our church community, from our family communities, and we felt so loved, honestly. And I hope that whatever situation that you are in, you can trust and you can find those support systems as well. But bringing it back to VIPKid, I just want to say that the money did not just start rolling in. I have seen stories of people who were like, yeah, I opened up my bookings and I got fully booked, good news. But that's not everyone's story. It took me maybe a month to really feel like I was like making some momentum. And that was actually pretty quick. I think my first paycheck, I was looking back, was like $28. I only taught a few classes. And then now I'm easily making $1,500 a month, and that feels very sustainable. But we had to make some sacrifices, some adjustments before getting to that point. And I just want to talk about how it's okay to not be just being successful right away. Your time will come. And the thing that I learned from looking back at some of those really challenging times, we're still kind of working our way out of the woods, but there are definitely times that were the darkest, and we can look back at those, and I feel just so grateful for them because we learned to be intentional. We had a budget, and that helped us because we didn't budget very much before. We didn't really have to. Like I said, we were comfortable. We don't have a lot of needs, and so those needs were easy to meet. And then when we didn't have the income, they were more difficult to meet. So we set budgets, and we just every night, everything that was like more than 99 cents, we were very much like, let's evaluate this a second. Like, is this what we need? Is this what we want? Like, is this going to serve us? Is it going to make us happy? It was all about like finding that balance, and we found that we were so much happier. It was crazy. And I'm not saying that that's everyone's story, but for us, we really found joy in some of those darker moments, not necessarily in the darker moments, but looking back when we were really struggling, we find that we have learned so much. We've become really intentional, and that has also translated into our work, and we have found what hours we need, what kind of pay we need, but just like what the job itself needs. One of the reasons we left Michigan was because I was putting too much time into a job that I felt kind of obligated to, and there's nothing wrong with it. Still love that job. I'm actually wearing a hoodie from there. They're great people. I love them. But it just became not my thing anymore. So we had to get out, and we didn't want to run into that same thing here that would have defeated the purpose. So we had to really evaluate cost versus effect, I guess, like what was the spiritual effect on our family, the emotional effect, and also financially, because in the end, things still need to be met. The reason I tell you this isn't to say, like, I figured it all out, I have the answer. I would love to talk to you if you are in a similar situation, and I can go way more into depth about it. I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to kind of give you an overview. But the reason I say it is because you're going to hear a lot of things on the internet. People are going to show you their absolute best. I do this too, and I just want to be honest that everyone has a backstory, and whatever your backstory is, eventually it will be a backstory. There is a future ahead, and you will get through this. And for me, it was VIPKid, and I really would love to help you figure out how to make VIPKid your side income, or even like a main income. That's totally possible, but just remember that it doesn't always happen right away, and the first thing that you have to do is just change your mind a little, change your attitude. I think that attitude is going to be the number one thing in launching your career with VIPKid. It seems counterintuitive, like, no, marketing is definitely going to be the best thing here. And yes, absolutely, I found after I rebranded myself that I was much more successful with VIPKid. Go figure. But also, the attitude that going into it was like, this is a gift, and I'm going to make it the best thing that I can, and I'm really hoping to get something out of it, especially since it's my business. There's going to be something that you're putting into it, but make it your own. And that's one of the things I love about VIPKid. It is so personable and flexible, and you can really just brand yourself in whichever way you feel is necessary, and you can work the hours that you feel you're comfortable with and still spend time with your family. My son and I have done all sorts of things today. We had a great day. And I hope that you can too. And I hope that VIPKid becomes that thing for you. Or whatever it is. Maybe you want to be a nanny, or you walk dogs, or something, managing retail, or something like that. There are so many different things that it could be. And I hope that you find it. Just know that wherever you are financially, that the job itself is not going to save you. It will help you meet your financial goals, but the first thing that you need is just a good attitude and, just as hard as it sounds, trust. And I really think that that will change your journey. And just enjoy the journey, enjoy it, and just know that one day you're going to be looking back and you're going to be telling a story, hopefully something like mine. It's not a beautiful like ending. I'm not like, guess what? I make $1 million now. Like, we don't have to worry about anything. There's still problems, like there are still bills coming in that are like difficult. It's not a problem solver. Like, it's just part of the journey. And I think that I love that. It's so beautiful, and I want you to experience that. And I love what I do. I love VIPKid. It just brings me so much joy, and it gives me that flexibility. And it's exactly what I needed, and I hope that you can find what you need. And if you want that thing to be VIPKid, please send me an email, and I will do my best to answer all of your questions and help you become successful or mildly successful, or just get started with the process. But I just want you to know that there's some honesty that needs to be said. That financially you will find something promising in VIPKid. I think that they compensate fairly. I really do, for the work that we put into it. But it might take some time, and it might not end up being the thing that you love. It might just be a way to make money. And if that is it, talk to me, because I really think we can get down to some of the passions in this. We can talk about purpose, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential, and I think it really is going to work for a lot of people. But for those of you who are looking at this as like a financial source, which everyone is to a point, I'll be honest, I would maybe teach like 1 to 2 classes a week for free just because it's fun, but I would not teach all the classes for free. Like, I enjoy it. I've done some volunteering with ESL, like maybe an hour a week here and there, but not for free. Like, we all want to make money doing this, and that's totally reasonable. So don't feel overwhelmed if you are struggling a little bit. Just know that that is actually very common. And there's a lot of us out there who want to help you figure it out. So just reach out to us. My email, I'll put it here. Hopefully editing works. I'm still new to this, but put it here for you, and you can send me an email and I'll help you out. Otherwise, if you find another coach, like, it's not here to promote just me. I really think that VIPKid is great, and I think that you should try to find a coach or someone who is willing to kind of like walk you through that process. Yeah, that's all I want to say, is just have a good attitude, enjoy the journey, know that there is some solution out there waiting for you. Whatever it is, whether it's VIPKid or whether it's something else, there's just a patience involved. So that journey, take it, love it, live it, and then tell your story. If you have a story, I'd love to hear it. I really love to hear from you guys. So send me an email here, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And hopefully you learned something from this. If not, I thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Bye. Love you guys.